In this video, we are going to discuss about document object, window object, navigator object and something about the events. Let's look at document object. Document object come up with different functionalities like write, write-ln, cookie and lost modified. If you see the first two functionalities, we have seen these two functionalities in our early examples, correct? The basic difference between write and write-ln is with write we are just writing that information on the web page. The controller still there at the end of the character. Whereas in the write-ln it goes to the next line. That's the only difference. Coming to the next one, document.cookie. So we should know a little bit about cookies. Cookies are actually small textual information whose size is not more than 20 KB, usually stored or resides within the web browser. Okay, let's look at a small program which demonstrate cookies. Okay, here in this HTML page, okay, when you load this HTML document, we call a function called check cookie off. When you invoke this check cookie off function, probably we are going to gather all the cookies. Okay, document.cookie. Using this we can get the cookies which are there in the browser. In fact, in a browser there are lot more cookies, no? All these cookies usually end with semicolon. Each cookie having a key value pair, no? So this key value pair end with semicolon. So here I want to gather all the cookies in the form of an array. For that, let me split these cookies with the help of a semicolon. Okay, and I put a for loop here just to access all these cookies. Okay, first I got the first cookie. Okay, and I check the cookie with the name user. Okay, if the user cookie is there, then the x value becomes 0. When x becomes 0, we assign that particular cookie to a user variable. Okay, we have taken, don't confuse with this variable and this cookie. Okay, here I use both the same names. Okay, and this user, the cookie is actually assigned with a variable called user. Once we assign, we come out of this loop and we say welcome back again. First time when the user click on this particular program or when the user open this particular program in a browser, it asks the end user to enter his name. When you do refresh or when he revisit again, probably it says welcome back again. Okay, so first time when he enter, probably there is no cookie related with the name called user. So that time user is null, so we come out of this if condition, else block will execute. That time we prompt the user to enter his name. Okay, if he enter the name properly, we set that particular cookie. So when you set the cookie, no, we are setting the cookie with the name user plus the entered value. And of course you can set the expiry date if at all you want. By default the cookie lifetime exists until and unless you close the browser. If you close the browser, no, the cookie value the cookie will be expired. That's how the default lifetime is set. Here I did not specify any lifetime here. Okay, next time when the user do refresh, we gather all the cookies. Of course we access those cookies one by one. If we found that the cookie with the name user, probably we are going to assign that value to the variable called user. Okay, and we say simply welcome back again. This is how it cookies program works. Let's see. Here I opened this file and just click on this. First time I entered, so that's why it asked me to enter my name. When I do refresh, it says welcome back or welcome again user Kiran. So usually this information stored in a browser. So within the browser privacy, there is an option called remove individual cookies. Just click on that. It shows the information about the cookie: name, user, content, Kiran, and host, path, expiry date, etc. Okay, if you remove the selected cookie and then do refresh here, that time it asks again username, because that cookie is no more. No, we have deleted intentionally. Now create it. So do refresh again. It says welcome again, Kiran. Now see, the cookie is created. This is how it works. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the other one. The last one is last modified. If you want to know the last modified date and time for a specific document, yes, you can with the help of this function. Okay. Now let's go ahead with the window object. Window object come up with different functionalities like open, prompt, close, focus, blur. Hope we have seen already this prompt function. Prompt function permit the user to enter his information, enter some textual information. Okay, let's look at on open, close, focus, and blur. Let me open a simple program which talks about the same. So here I just create a simple program. There we created a button. Okay, input type equal to button, value equal to open. On click we call a function called open function. Open function. So in a open function, no, we are just opening another HTML document. Okay, window.open of program 7.html. This HTML document I want to open, and of course with the width of 200, and let's say height of 200. Okay, and run the program. And coming to the next one, PROC7. So here in this HTML file I write one more button where it is a closing button. The moment when I click on this close button, I invoke a close function. Simply I invoke window.close. Okay, let's see how this particular open close functions, window open close functions works together. Okay, when I open program 6 HTML, there is a button, right? When I click, the moment when I click on this button, it opens another window. Okay, small window with 200 width and 200 height. The moment when I click on close, that window will close. This is how it works. Usually this open and close used at the time of handling the different windows, like especially at the time of ads, advertisements, we do use this kind of window.open function, window.close function. Okay, and apart from this we do have something called blur and focus. These two are very simple. Focus is actually put the focus or control in the newly opened window. If you say window.focus, that focus is there on the newly opened window. If you say window.blur, that focus is still there with the mother window or the window where you have opened the new window, right? That's the basic difference between these two. Now let's look at navigator object. Navigator object actually gives you more information about your browser. Okay, so it suppose if you use app code name, it returns code name of the browser. App name will return the name of the browser. Version of the browser can be written by app version. Whether cookies are enabled, disabled, that can be written by cookie enable. Platform, that platform underlying operating system details can be referred by platform. And user agent, whatever is there in the user agent header, that will be displayed. Okay, I have let's look at this program. So here I have written a simple program which demonstrates the same. When you load this browser, sorry, when you load this particular program in a browser, we call a function called checkoff. In the checkoff function, we have taken a simple text variable and we just add browser details to the text variable by simply text plus equal to browser code name is navigator.appcodeof and browser code name is navigator.appcodename. Browser name is navigator.appname. Browser version is navigator.appversion. Cookies enabled or disabled, that we can get using navigator.cookieEnable. And of course you can get the language, and of course whether it is working in online or offline. Browser can operate in two modes, no, online mode and offline. That you can get underlying platform, whether it is Windows, Linux. If it is Windows, whether it is 32-bit, 64-bit, those details will get. And finally user agent header. So let's run this program so that you will understand the benefit of it. Okay. Here browser code name is Mozilla and browser name is Netscape. Version is 5.0. Cookies are enabled already. US English, that's the language which you are using. And of course this browser is working online. The operating system which we have installed is Windows, and this is the user information or user agent header, right? This is all about navigator object. Using this navigator object, we can get to know the details of our browser. Okay. And finally events in JavaScript. There are several events. We have seen few of these events, like on load we have seen, on click we have seen, on parts of HTML page. Okay. Some might used at body, some might be used at form, some might be used at most of the elements, some might be used at area, hyperlink, button, input, right? So these are all the events usually used in a JavaScript.